Hey guys, it's Andrew Fitzgerald back with another video, and today I'd just like to talk about Samsung's and LG's new flagships that were released about a week ago. So enjoy. So this past week was Mobile World Congress held in Barcelona, and Samsung unveiled their two new flagships, the Galaxy S7 and the Galaxy S7 Edge. These new flagships are just have minor changes. They're not huge changes to last year's flagships, but they responded to what the consumers want. So first thing is they improved the processor. There's now a Snapdragon 820 made by Qualcomm in there. The screen size for the S7 is still 5.1 inches, so no changes there. It still uses the same Super AMOLED HD, and it's a Quad HD display. It's 2560 by 1440 pixels. They changed the camera on the back. It seems like they took a step back because they put in a 12 megapixel camera in the rear, but they didn't, because they changed the pixels. They made the pixels inside the camera bigger, so they take in more low light, so you'll have improved low light performance. And then they kept the same 5 megapixel front facing camera and same video recording, slow-mo, 4K recording on the back. No changes there. And what's new in the S7 is they brought back the micro SD card slot, so now you have expandable storage again. And then they also improved the battery, since the battery was a real problem in last year's flagship, so now they put in a new 3000 milliamp hour battery. And with the processor and everything, the battery life should be a lot better. There should be no more complaints, or very little complaints, and you should be able to get through a full day. The only differences between the S7 and the S7 Edge is now the Edge is actually 5.5 inches. So it has all the same specs. It has the 5.5 inch curved display, and they threw in a bigger 3600 milliamp hour battery due to the bigger screen size. So that battery should last a lot longer. The differences between the S6 Edge Plus and the S6 Edge and the S7 Edge is now the Edge display has more features. There's two columns instead of one for Apps Edge and for People Edge. You can also just have shortcuts to different things within apps. And then there's also made it more real estate for news and weather, and they added in a lot more things you can put in there, such as sports scores. So it's a lot more practical. And then they also added the always on feature on the display, which should help conserve battery life, so you no longer have to keep turning on and off your display. You can keep it on and it'll show. You can put on the clock or calendar, or there's different widgets you can put on the lock screen now for the always on display. So it should be a bunch of new features, and I'm really excited to, if I can actually some point get to play around with this phone. And I think it's a great new addition to Samsung's lineup. Unveiled their new flagship, the LG G5, and this phone, just like Samsung's flagships, is using the Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 processor. A difference between the two flagships is LG is sticking with their IPS LCD display, and it's still Quad HD 2560 by 1440 pixels. On the back of the G5, it's rocking a 16 megapixel rear camera and an 8 megapixel front facing. Still the same micro SD card slot. But the most exciting thing about LG's new flagship is that it's actually modular. So you can take out the back, out the bottom of the phone, and you can swap in different modules. Right now they sell a module for a camera, so you can put it on the back, and it makes the phone easier for the camera. They have different switches and buttons, so if you're huge into photography, that would be a very great purchase. So you can up your smartphone photography game, that Instagram game. Um, they also have one for speakers, so if you're huge into listening to music, you can put that right in the bottom of the phone, and you have an even better speaker for your listening. And it's really exciting because then it's easier access to swap out batteries. So now you can just carry around multiple modules for batteries, and you can keep swapping in and out batteries, or you can keep all the modules in your bag, and when you want one feature, you just swap out one and put in the other. If you're gonna go photography and then you're hanging with your friends later, just swap in the one for listening to music, the better speaker one. If your phone dies, swap in a new battery. So this is a great addition, and it's really exciting. I really hope I get to play around with this in the future. Also has the always on display feature as well, so battery life should be improved with that on the G5 too. Please drop a like rating, and in the comments tell me if you're planning on buying either the S7 Edge or the G5, and also tell me which one you're most excited for and what new features you're most excited for. And always please subscribe, it'll help out a lot. And have a good day. Goodbye.